Valves adjusted. I'm going to pull these two valve covers off. So here's your breather. Sometimes they're retained with a clamp or a zip tie. Your breather is in here. There's this filter. So real quick, take this out. You can clean it however you clean things. Brake clean works fine. Parts washer, whatever you want to do. Don't use the brake clean in the rubber. Not a good idea. So make sure you're clean around the valve covers so nothing falls in. When you're tuning up and servicing, change the oil dead last, because everything we've done with the sprays into the cylinder and the piston will walk past the rings a little bit. Anything that falls in down through here, you'll see, will get caught in the dirty oil. And that way there, when you change the oil, it's all this possible contamination, hopefully none, is in there, and you didn't get your new oil dirty. So changing the oil on the tune-up is our last step. You'll notice this one should have it. Yep, there's a little copper sealing washer on these. Important that it's there. The washers on this one here. Sometimes these pop right off, and other times you got to work them. This side over here has got a little tab. I don't know if you can see this. There's a tab right kind of close to the coil. You can get underneath here. Usually give it a little pry and it pops right off. You want to get this all cleaned up. Well, this is just a single piece here. Here's a gasket that's stuck to it, unfortunately. We put new gaskets in this when we redo them, so it's not the end of the world. So this old gasket's got to come out of here. Again, you want to be careful, try not to get anything dropped down in the engine there. So usually when we're doing it, we try to scrape away as best you can. Again, you want to prevent as much as you can from falling in here. Unfortunately, this one is kind of the only way we can get it off and do it. Oh, it's coming off in some pieces, so that's good news. And try to pick all this up in one piece. Oh, there's some pieces in there, unfortunately. You have to get them out of there. I just take a clean screwdriver and just work them up like that. So if you got some more stuff in here, you can go in there with the Q-tip and get it out real quick. It's tough to work in here too with this thing. You just get in here and do what you can, just lightly. Try to have it spinning away from you, so that way it's throwing stuff out and not in, if you can. Not always possible. The top you can do real quick with the machine, or however you want to clean it. Put your safety glasses on. Alright, this other side contains your breather. Sometimes this one's a little tougher to get off, but you can get a screwdriver underneath it like that. Now this is a two-piece. Alright, so you see half the gasket's here, another half is down on there. That's pretty common. Just show you real quick. Here's your breather. There's a spring and a little reed valve here. As the pressure builds up in the crankcase, it opens this up. The reed valve and the little piece of metal here is hopefully to keep most of the oil back down in here, but let the pressure out, and then whatever oil does escape goes into that mesh that we just cleaned out. So there's two pieces here. There's a bottom piece and the top piece, and there's a gasket in between. If this comes out on one piece, we usually leave it alone unless there's a problem with the breather. Now this one looks like it's working, it's sealing up, it's bouncing right back. No sense of splitting this and making more work for yourself. And that inner gasket's going to be fine. So you just have to replace this outer gasket. If it comes apart in two pieces, then obviously replace in both gaskets. They're the same gasket. And again, you just go about cleaning and scraping the gasket the same way you did the other one. I'll show you how to adjust the valves on one side here. So the tools you're going to need to do this, obviously showed you the process of opening this up. You're going to need feeler gauges, whatever feeler gauges you want, kind, style. Get the right specs for your engine. Most of the Onans we use, we find that 13 works good on the exhaust side. That's what we got this nifty little Lang tool made in the USA hang a holder. So the red is for the exhaust on the Onans, and the blue is for the intake, and this one's 8,000s. So these are what we do most of the B series and Performer Onans too. You can be within a couple thousandths, and some of the manuals give you a range. You might say 5 to 8 thousandths on intake, or 6 to 10, or whatever the engine you're working on is. And then the same exact engine, have a manual printed a couple different years that gives you two hard numbers. We just try to be consistent, and these are the clearances we find work best. And we believe that loose valves are better than overly tight valves. So we go to if there's a range, we tend to go on the bigger side, the higher side. We've got these for different engines. So this one's the Onan one. We got different ones set up for the Kohler and the Briggs and on and on. And these are really handy. I don't know if you can see them, but they're Capri tools. They're thin wrenches. You can use any brand you want. There's all different ones out there. These are nice. They're a little pricey for what they are, but they're a real nice and handy wrench, and got no complaints. And if you can afford it, I'd recommend them. But there's a lot of cheaper ones out there. You can make your own. We've ground down regular wrenches and made them thin, so they work for tappet wrenches. So the sizes you're going to need are the 9/16 and the 7/16. Your exhaust valve is obviously where your exhaust cylinder or exhaust ports are, right here. This is your exhaust. Your intake would be where your carburetor and intake are. This is your intake. Intakes are 99% always your bigger valve. Your exhaust is always your smaller valve. So that's a good way to tell too. But look where your exhaust pipes will be or where your intakes will be. So first step, wipe your cylinder that you've got open here really up nice and clean, because we're moving the engine again. So for those that don't know, an engine, well, most engines have 4 strokes. There are 2-stroke engines, but we're working on a 4-stroke. You have your intake stroke, then you have your compression stroke, your power stroke, and your exhaust stroke. And why that's important now is we have to be on the right stroke to adjust the valves. I'm not going to go into details on the strokes, but that's going to affect performance and heating and cooling. And why that gets tight, there's different reasons, but your valve will wear and the valve seat will wear, and they'll come closer, and it'll push the valve in this way. If they get really loose, then you can have carbon buildup or a bent or bad valve head or seat, or sometimes, but they will start wearing in here too. And as they wear, then your gap will get bigger, and they get loud. If they're too loose, they'll get very loud too. We're talking thousands here, so it's very important. You want to inspect your valves, make sure that nothing's broken, make sure the shafts and the stems are not bent, your keepers and your caps are on, and these look fine. So at that point we know we can adjust them. If these are way out, you definitely can cause some damage. The motor won't run. You can have the valves up too high and get damaged, or damage your cam if they're way too tight. Alright, now we're going to adjust this side of the valves. Again, you want to spin the motor the correct way for your engine. This Onan, if you're facing the flywheel from the front, you turn it clockwise. So you want to find the right stroke. We want to be in the top dead center of compression stroke. Right now you can tell it's finishing exhaust stroke. Piston's coming up, exhaust valve's closing. Next stroke should be intake. Spinning it in the right direction. The strokes will make sense. Intake valve's open, piston sucking air and fuel in. Intake valve closed. Now we're going to pay attention. Going to be a top dead center. Intake is closed. Exhaust is closed. We're coming up to the top. Slowly now. Top dead center. And you're basically flush here. Is where top dead center is. Okay. Intake, exhaust both closed completely. Nothing's open. Can't spin them. That part's where it should be to do the adjustment. Now we're going to check what the situation is up here with the valves. Again, for us, blue is our intake for the Onan 8 thousandths. This is your intake valve, the bigger valve. This is exhaust. We're going to check right in between here. And that's a little sloppy. See how easy that goes in and out? A little loose there. Not crazy, but definitely a little bit. We're going to check the exhaust now. Same deal. Put it in here. And now this one's tight. I can't even, again, get it in there at all. You don't want to force it to see, but let's see if the 8 will go in. It's supposed to be 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. And the 8 is so tight the 8 won't even go in there. So that one's way off. And this one's a little loose. If engines have two different settings, is because the intake is usually cooler and the exhaust valve is usually hotter. The intake valve is usually sucking cold air and cold fuel in, and the exhaust valve is actually pushing hot exhaust and combustion out. So therefore the exhaust valve and whatnot expands more. So you want more room. Alright, so again you find the flat spots and your lifter tap it there. Take your 9/16. Since this one is a little bit loose, we want to tighten it. We want to tighten the gap, but it actually is loosening this nut. So this nut here, you put the 7/16 and you turn it to the left to loosen it. You only need to go a little bit. A small turn goes a long way. If you watch the wrenches, you'll see how small it goes. Let's see what we gained. Again, make sure you have got your right one. We're on 8/1000ths for this one. It can get tightened up a little bit more. Some guys leave that in there to get a feel. You can do it as long as you don't go too tight, because you'll damage your feeler gauge and then change the accuracy. But if you leave it in there, you can kind of drag out and feel out where you're at. Go a little bit more. Like I said, this is set up a little bit on the high side, so if this drags tight, that's where we want to be. It's dragging better. I think maybe just a tiny bit more and we'll be satisfied. If you've got the correct exact size, then you really want it to drag just a little bit. If this drags a little extra, it's because the size is a little bigger. I'm fine with it. I usually just do a size bigger, and that's how I work with them. Yeah, now we went just a little tiny turn, went too much, and now this is pinched in here. And it takes some force to get it in there, so that's why I don't like leaving them in there. No big deal, just loosen it up, which is actually tightening that nut, is loosening it up, because the space between this nut and the top of the valve is what's opening and closing. So if you're making that nut longer by loosening it, you're tightening your clearance, and then the opposite, if you're sending that nut in, you're opening your clearance. Tiny bit here, and that's all we want to do. We're going to go the opposite direction we just did because we're a little too tight. Make sure when you put this in, you just wipe it off every time. There we go. Might have just went a little bit. These are just real finicky. And you don't have to be exact. Maybe I'm just a little over precise on them. There's a range that'll run absolutely fine. Just a tiny bit like that. And I'll go with that. That's fine. This one we know is super tight, so we're going to have to loosen this one up quite a bit. When I say loosen, I mean loosen the gap up, the clearance, but it's actually sending the nut in like you're tightening it. Well, curiosity, I should have stuck a feeler gauge in there, see how tight it was. I don't know if there was any clearance. I'm going to doubt it. Again, if you don't have nice thin wrenches, you can make them. Grind down a regular wrench and then 2 of them, it'll work. Yeah, it doesn't even want to think yet about going in. But we backed that off quite a bit. Chances are it was probably slightly holding that exhaust valve open. It wasn't closing completely. Probably couldn't quite see it by eye, but if you stuck a light down here on the back side and checked it, probably would have seen some light. Now we clean these exhaust valves too, and the intake, and that probably is allowing it to close a little bit more than it was before, because there was some stuff on them. Now we're getting close. I may open it up just a little bit because these are so tight anyways. Again, you can see where these wrenches are, hopefully. When I say a little turn, it's just ever so slightly. Yeah, that's better. Slight resistance. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's got a little bit of drag on it. That'll be perfect. Again, if you want to double check, make sure you are on the right stroke, the right clearances. Spin this motor the correct direction of rotation as the engine runs. This engine, it's clockwise. If you're facing the front of the engine, the flywheel, you want to be at top dead center on this stroke. Both valves will be completely closed. Top dead center, compression stroke. Make sure you got the right feeler gauge. This is the blue one. This is our intake for your Onan. We set it at 8. If you can hear that or not, very slight drag. Perfect. The exhaust, we got this at 13. Same deal. If you can hear that, very slight drag. Perfect. So that's how you adjust the valves. Simple enough. As we talked about, here's our breather. We cleaned it up. It's a 2-piece breather. Don't take it apart if you don't need to. Only reason to take it apart is if the gasket here is leaking, which you probably wouldn't tell. Again, we use some kind of gasket sealant. This here is Permatex Aviation formula. They've got a couple other ones on any brand of work. Doesn't really matter. Not flying a plane or building a plane here. Just like the aviation formula ourselves. Very light coat. Just to keep the gasket in place. Seal any small imperfections. Your gasket's going to have a fatter and a thinner side on the 2 short sides. Pay attention to this. The fatter sides go opposite of the reed valve. It's at like a slight angle. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's that. Same deal with this, just ever so little bit on here, just to help seal any imperfections, keep it in place. Don't want to plug these holes up, these 2 tiny holes, or get anything around there. As you can see, this hole for the bolt is offset. And there's the threads. We'll let that set up. So since we are changing the oil after, we take this brake spray, spray down any imperfections. We already got it down, any garbage that's in there, any crud. Try to pull as much out with the Q-tip like we did on the other side. We already did it on this side. Wipe that down. Since we sprayed brake clean on there, you just want to put a little bit of lube on there. You can use a motor oil, spray grease, whatever you want. Just get something lubed up in here since we brake cleaned it all. You want on top of these tappets, you want where the valve hits the lifters and tappets. Also where the valve comes in. You don't need to go crazy, but just a little something. Take your bolt that goes in there, make sure you got your copper washer. You probably can't see it, but there's a little tiny copper washer that seals. Again, the hole is not centered, so this is the way it goes. You'll feel this, you got some room to move around. It's sunk in there. The gasket's bigger than the mating surface, so you're fine. Just try to get it centered. But the important part is to find the threads. And sometimes it goes 1, 2, 3, other times it'll be a little tricky. Hand tight. And get your wrench on there, your ratchet rather. Don't go crazy, it's a small bolt. It's not doing much, with just a little bit of pressure to seal. This gasket probably should be centered. There we go. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it's a little better. Right now I got some resistance, barely any. Right there, it's on the washer, the copper washer. And it'll probably go 3/4 of a turn from there. And that's it. Don't need to snap it, don't need to go crazy. Pushed out a little bit of the gasket sealer, we're good. That's how you adjust the valves. Next we'll do the points while the head and engine's open.